Well, it's our last day on Freedom of the Seas, and guess what? I'm your infield reporter here to report everything that I loved and hated about Freedom of the Seas, and also give you guys some tips to help you along in your journey of cruising. Ooh, there we go, more lighting. Here's one of the things I did not like about Freedom of the Seas. Let's walk over here. As you see, I have two connecting rooms. We'll get into that shortly. The outlets, you only get two. Now these are two connected interiors, so you might be thinking, oh, you go up to a balcony, maybe you get more outlets. No, we were in a balcony because this is actually a back-to-back. In the 3-day portion of the cruise, yeah, it was in the balcony and we only got two outlets. So bring those power connectors or strips or whatever they allow you to bring. Also, you get this here. Now, if you have a converter and maybe you'll be only fine with 3, cool. But if you're coming here with kids, I don't recommend it. And I know on Harmony, which we were on before, they had the USB outlet by the bed and they had them right here where these outlets are here. I wish they had them on Freedom. It's a little too late. They already reamped and revamped this ship, so they're not going to do that just to put an extra outlet or a USB in one of these rooms just to accommodate us, like a silly guest with a silly request as such. So definitely go get you one of those power adapters because you're going to need them if you come here with kids. Now here's one thing I don't like about Freedom. These elevators, they can be hot. Right now it actually feels good, but you get a lot of people here, there's no air conditioning on this elevator, and I wish there were. Another thing that I don't like about Freedom is this thing. Let me see if it actually happens. It's actually working. Wow, I'm shocked. But what'll happen sometimes, you'll press this, but it won't work. You will have to go over to the other side in order for you to get this thing to work. And it's really weird. Right now it's acting fine, but under some circumstances, it doesn't. So you would have to literally ask the person standing over here to press whatever floor you're trying to go to. Yeah, that right there is annoying. And another thing about these pesky elevators here on Freedom, the one thing I don't like about them is they're very slow. Not slow in they'll slowly get you to your destination. It's just slow to get on. And that's my biggest contention with the elevators here on Freedom. And honestly, I think it is just the layout of the ship as to why it is like that. Because on other class ships, bigger class ships, the layout of the ship is different. Everyone is spread out. The good and the bad of this ship being small is, the good part is everything's condensed into general areas. The bad part is a lot of people have to use these elevators once they're done in these common areas. So the ship's not that spread out, which it tends to find pockets of people looking for elevators all at the same time, and people are using elevators all at the same time. So boy, I wish, but again, that pick your room thing, that's where that comes in handy. All right, now look, this one's not gonna be for everyone about the things that you might hate about Freedom, but I'm in the Solarium, if you can't tell. One thing you can see, it's not covered. Like it's an open air Solarium. So like some Solariums, they're actually enclosed. And some people don't like that about this Solarium. And another thing I'll say is, with the Solarium, you might not like that this is hot traffic. Like some other ships that I've been on, the Solariums, they're laid out a little bit better in the fact that you don't have tons of people walking in and out of the Solarium. As you see, this place is pretty busy, but the bad part comes in where behind those glass windows back there are elevators back there. And these elevators, of course, have a lot of people, and the people honestly, they have no choice but to walk through the Solarium. I mean, unless they're like, oh, I'm gonna respect these adults and I'm gonna like go up to deck 12 and then walk over. I'm gonna be honest, most people aren't doing this. They're just gonna come up to deck 11, especially if they're just trying to go to the pool, and then they're gonna shoot right over out of the Solarium. So it just is what it is. Now we're talking about chill spots, right? I did the same thing about Harmony. I'm gonna say the same thing about this. And if you continue to watch my videos, I'm gonna say the same thing about every single ship. About chill spots, one that people don't know is the main dining. You can literally come into the main dining and just chill. The doors will be closed, yes, but they're not locked. And you see, I got this whole place virtually to myself. Now, there's a caveat. If there's breakfast, lunch, or some sort of event going on, you may not be able to come here, but this is a nice spot. You can just come here, chill. You want to sit in the chair? Maybe you sit out by the window, which actually I'll show you here in a second. And really the only people you'll see coming through here is staff. Like there was just one lady that just came in right there that was behind me. But look, you can sit right here, overlook the Caribbean. Look, there's a chair right there. You can just pull up, soak up a little bit of sun if you need to, and just chill and enjoy this ship in peace. Because especially if you're on a weekend cruise, you need to get away from the madness. Even if you're on the 4-day portion of Harmony, it's not that bad. But this is a spot where it's very, very quiet. You're not gonna find any music being pumped in here, especially at these hours when there's no one dining. Now, granted, you're not gonna get the couch style seats. You're gonna get these types of seats to sit in, but if you're fine with sitting in seats like this, hey, this is a go-to spot. Now, as I sit out here, as you can see, I'm on deck 4.5. There is no 4.5, but this is technically deck 4.5 of the main dining. You see right here above me, that's deck 5. I'm actually here in this little section right here. This is the chef's table experience. You see the mural right there, and there's a staircase that goes up to deck 5, and right below there is deck 4, and at the very bottom there's deck 3. But one thing that I didn't really like, and I talked about this with the elevator situation, is just the layout of the ship. It being what it is, and I like it. Like I say, I like it and I love it because you get a lot of stuff on one side of the ship, then you get a lot of stuff on the other side of the ship. Sometimes it's a bit weird. It can throw you off depending on where your stateroom is. If you're midship, it can definitely throw you off because you'll find yourself like, huh? Wait, where am I? Is it this way or that way? It's just one of those things. It is what it is. But there's a good thing. There's pros and cons to everything. So if you like it, great. If you don't, remember what I said earlier about them elevators. It's gonna suck. As you see here, I'm on deck 4 level of the Royal Theater. And you can see the stage is right there in the background. Let's talk about this one little thing I didn't like about Freedom of the Seas. Yeah, that weekend versus weekday crowd is something else. The vibe's totally different. It's weird. I was talking to a guy in the first leg of the first portion of the back-to-back, and he was like, oh yeah, doing the back-to-back, cool. Oh, just wait. You're gonna see it's gonna be a lot less Latinos on the weekday. And I was like, Sure enough, this guy was right, because the weekend portion, the 3-day portion, it was party time, party central. There were just like people everywhere. Just all the public places and public venues were just packed. The promenade, you would go there like 1, 2 a.m. It was busy. The weekday crowd, totally different. You go to these places right now, not really being occupied by anyone. It's just really, really chill. Weekend crowd, the pool, craziness. The music, everything was just totally different. Totally different. You talk about the nightclub. The nightclub on the weekend was lit. I'm talking lit. You talk about the weekday crowd. Yeah, it was good, but not as good as a weekend crowd by far. You go to any of these events, like let's say Crazy Quest, it was packed for the weekend crowd. Weekday crowd, we actually had to join sections because there weren't enough people. And that's just the difference between the weekend and the weekday crowd. You know, he was right. Like I said earlier, it was an interesting experience on Freedom like this. And I don't think Freedom does need longer sailings, but in my opinion, I could do without the weekend crowd because that's just not my vibe. If you like to cruise like that, hey, go ahead and book those cheap, fun, lively weekend cruises. Book them all day, every day. When it comes to everything that I love and hate, this is a universal topic that I'm gonna say on every cruise ship that I go to, and that is the people. I love them and I hate them. The part that I love is the staff, and I think I could, at least up until this point, I can always say and count on the staff to be great. I haven't met any bad staff yet. Everyone's pretty cool. The wait staff is cool. Just the people that I see in passing, I try to speak to just about everyone, and sometimes talk to people. But the hate that I have, or the dislike that I have, it's the passengers. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, again, the same thing. They gather in an area where they know it's a common area for people to transition, but they'll just converge and just sit there as if they're the only ones there. And you know what I had to do? I had to move them out of the way. People will see you coming. They won't move. I was literally, if you guys watched the other video, from day, 3, I almost lost my camera, or at least I thought I lost my camera. So I'm literally running to go to a different area, and a guy sees me running. It wasn't like I just popped up out of nowhere. He saw me running. He chose to not move. And you know what happened? He got shouldered real hard, because if you guys didn't pay attention in physics, an object that's in motion stays in motion, and I stayed in motion, and I hit his shoulder pretty hard. But again, that is his fault. It's not my responsibility to be moving my shoulders like I'm a running back trying to go through the O-line and all that. No, if you see someone running, get the hell out the way. And along to go with the people, just to stick on top of this, is that when you talk about the people, I mean the passengers. Man, you get some rude bastards out here, man. People they don't care. They don't know how to read the room. They try to, and here's one that I hate. The people that try to get on the elevators before you could even get out. Then you got the people in the buffet that try to cut you in front of the line like the food is going somewhere. Like they're not gonna bring out more of what is there. Like there may be 1 or 2 left, and they're like, oh, dude, they're gonna bring more out. That kills me. Another thing that kills me is you get some inconsiderate folks where, we'll just take the Windjammer for instance. We'll use that. So you're in the Windjammer. Let's say there's a 6-top table, 4-top table. Let's say there's other things available. They'll sit at 6-top by themselves. And I'm just like, really? Or 2 people will sit at 6-top. And I'm just like, really? There's a family of 4, family of 6 looking for a table where you could have taken a 4-top or just squeezed in another table with someone else, but that's just people. And again, like I say, it goes to the stuff that I love and hate about any cruise ship, but for this purpose of this video, this is freedom. Remember how I was talking about the people earlier? I just thought about something. I just got back to my stateroom. I was kind of pissed off when I saw this. In the Royal Promenade, as you know, on Royal Caribbean ships, they like to put a classic old school car in the promenade. And there was this Russian lady's child. It's funny because my wife's Russian too, but our kids don't do what this kid did. She allowed their kids to get on the hood of the car and literally pry the wipers, like, you know, windshield wipers, you know how they go like, but of course this car isn't running. It probably doesn't even have an engine, or maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, I don't know. But the kids literally grabbed the wipers and were just like this. And this is what I'm talking about with the people, man. You get some people on this ship that, I'm like, how do you parent? Do you parent like this normally, or you just don't give a damn now because it's not yours, or your money? Well, shoot, if they done enough damage, their money might be on the line. But this is the type of stuff I'm talking about with the people. I don't know if it's like people just turn brand new once they go on vacation and they just leave their minds at home and they're just like, hey, I don't know what it is, but when I saw that, I literally just stood there and I'm just like, when is this lady gonna say something? And it wasn't like, oh, her back was turned and her kid was just kind of behind her back doing a bunch of nefarious stuff. No, she was watching. She was literally watching, and I'm looking at her like, nope. It wasn't like, you know, you see the parent sees the kid doing some bad stuff and they're giving them a little like, they do a little like this, so they don't have to make the effort to go over and pry them off the car. You know, it's like some parents can just give the kid the look and then the kid straightens up. No, this was none of this. No. Her, the guys didn't do anything. But again, this is the people. This is, guys, when you come on cruise ships, if you're watching this video, especially if you're a first-time cruiser, or maybe you're guilty of some of this stuff that you've done, that I've talked about, don't do it anymore. Don't be a douchebag, please, because ultimately you make yourself look bad, really. You know, there are some people that will say something to you. And well, I was about to mention the Karen that we had an incident with on the basketball court on day 2, or no, was it day three. Yeah, date 3, but yeah, she kind of was unprovoked. On to the tips. You already know it. You know what I'm about to say. One of my tips about Freedom of the Seas, which is not exclusive to Freedom of the Seas, and that is Downy wrinkle release. You see it right here. It doesn't have to be Downy. Make Downy richer, not Royal Caribbean International richer, because that stuff works wonders. I mean, look, you can pack however well you think you pack, but you're not gonna pack that well enough where you get 0 wrinkles on your clothes, and that stuff works wonders. You spray it on, do a little tug, let it dry out, and boom, perfect. Sometimes while I take a shower, I'll put my clothes in the shower with me, or maybe I'll use the wrinkle release then, put it in the shower with me, and then it'll just be absolutely amazing. But another thing too with your clothes, if you don't want them to be wrinkled, unpack them and hang them, which leads me into the next thing as far as tips for Freedom of the Seas, and that is, don't bring hangers, guys. Look, your stateroom attendant will actually bring you hangers, and they actually don't supply that bad of amount of hangers. I mean, I had these hangers here, and then I got a couple hangers right here. Oh, wow. I did not even notice that. I don't know if my kids did that or someone else did that. I'm gonna assume my kids did that because they actually did go to the towel folding class. But don't bring hangers. They'll give them to you. Now listen, check this out. I noticed this about Freedom of the Seas, and it was different from Harmony, but because I gave the tip on Harmony of not bringing the wall magnets, which I still have I share the same opinion. Do not bring wall magnets. I don't recommend it. Look, you can argue and say these rooms are ugly enough. And why make them uglier if you put wall magnets and hang clothes from them, or baseball caps or lanyards? Why? Use hangers. They're free. Now look, you see these 2 hangers here in my hand. One hook on the, well, to your right, it's small, and this other one's big. On Harmony of the Seas, they were all the same size. These, on the other hand, 2 different sizes, which is cool because look, on Freedom, they, outside of the closet door, let me see if it's on both sides. No, it's just on the one side. You get this. You can just hang stuff here. Boom. Or you can just hang whatever you want over there. I use these little shelves as hanging devices, as you can see. Got stuff there, got stuff there. Now, of course, if you were trying to use this to hook here, that's a no-go. Here, that's a no-go. Here, that's a go, because this is actually tiny. You could just hang something here and have it dry right here instead of out in your stateroom. Again, in here, it's a little bit tricky. But one thing that I do like about Freedom of the Seas, and I noticed this even in the balcony, because I was like, man, let me not talk about this now until I get to the interior, because maybe this is just a balcony thing. They have this retractable line right here, and I'm gonna unplug this actually. Let me do my best. You just kind of hook this thing here. See that? And there's this retractable line. Let me unlock this. And as you see, boom, it comes right back. So you have this retractable line. You could use this to hang clothes from. Now, I don't recommend you hang a hanger from there because, we have to use common sense here, people. Let's use common sense. That's a cloth, thin line. This is metal. Boom, you have these little hooks here, 1, 2, 3, 4. And these were also in my balcony stateroom. So you can hang items from here, which technically that's what the towels are for, because the towels have little, like, not hooks, but a little thing where you can hang right there. Save yourself on the magnetic hooks, guys. Don't do it. Spend your money on the wrinkle release. Do not spend your money on the press service. If you do have to use laundry, it is what it is. I don't fault you there because, hey, things happen. But those are some tips. Ooh, I almost forgot. Remember I said this on Harmony? Don't overpack. And I know not to overpack, yet I still overpacked for this trip. 2 pair of pants that I did not wear. Shorts, tights, hat, socks that I did not wear. I need to get this thing down because I sound like a hypocrite. But really trying to find that sweet spot of like, what do I really need and what am I gonna do each and every day and blah, blah, blah. It's hard to nail that down. I swear, I'm gonna give myself a big yellow star. I'm gonna pin it to my chest. If I could go on a trip and literally wear every single item that I wore. Now, that doesn't mean like, oh, I'm just gonna wear this just for the sake of wearing it so I can say that I wore everything that no, not like this. Meaning, I wore everything purposefully. Like it actually had the purpose for what it was intended for that day, that time, etc. Because I feel so bad. And we were trying to keep the luggage under a certain amount. And for those of you who know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Because this is why not overpacking is such a big deal. Because if you fly into these cruise ports and then you have weight restrictions, yeah, that's gonna bother you, the overpacking thing. So if you're on the cusp of being overweight, that little one thing may have turned into an extra $50 or whatever the airline is charging you. Remember how I said last time for the tips for Harmony, bring that 12-pack of water. When you fly into a cruise port, it's kind of annoying because you got to go to a hotel and then you would either have to go buy wine and blah, blah, blah. I would recommend that you bring a water bottle that has a filter like this Brita here. That way you can just fill it up. You can fill it up here in the sink in your stateroom because, you know, of course, around the ship, they have all these signs around water fountains and things like that. Don't fill up water bottles and blah, blah, blah. So this has a filter in it and you could just fill this. You could take this out in the port. That way you don't have to worry about lugging on 12 bottles of water or a case of water, because we did that on Harmony, and I'm telling you, this is the way I'm going from here on out. I'm not gonna fool around with that because it's annoying. It's just something that's so heavy that you have to bring on extra. And if you're flying into a cruise port, that just adds even more logistics to the already somewhat potential of annoying logistics that you have to go through. Because with this, easy, just put this in your luggage. It doesn't take up much space, not much weight. It's really lightweight without water, of course. But the 12-pack of water, if you got to go to your hotel, if your hotel is not close to a grocery store or whatever, then you got to go maybe take an Uber, or if you have a rental car, then you can get it, blah, blah, blah. Then if you want to buy the wine, that's a whole nother story. But the wine may be a priority. So as you see here, I'm in the Royal Theater. I'm on the upper section of the Royal Theater. Now, here's one of my spots, another one of the chill spots that I like to come to, or I recommend if you can. It's closed, but you can kind of sneak in. Over here, this is more chill. You want to come here, read a book. There's no music being pumped in here. There's no rowdiness, just like the main dining area, which again, those places are closed. And you'll see, I'm going to show you here in a second because it's time to exit. And by the way, there is access to here through a staircase, little spiral staircase, where you can come up here from deck 3 and come up. But there's also an entrance and exit to the Royal Theater. And as you can see, hold that note, the theater is temporarily closed. But as you saw, I still walked in. Coming out of the Royal Theater on deck 4, hey, how you doing? We're gonna go here. It's gonna get a little bit windy, and we're gonna talk about a chill spot. Now, this spot, it could be high traffic. They do use this area as a walking area. It does not go around the perimeter of the ship. It literally stops there at these stairs. And this is where you actually have to take the stairs to get up to another chill spot that we're going to talk to shortly. But as you can see, there are chairs along this way here, and then there's chairs right here. A lot of people like to come out here. You can look out onto the water. As you can see, the water is beautiful. It is a beautiful day right now. Let me give you guys a comfy test, because you know, I'm your infield reporter. Yeah, that's pretty comfortable. Yeah, that's pretty comfortable. I would have to agree there. That's comfortable. But let's walk up these stairs, shall we? This section here, the helipad. Now, I wouldn't say or consider this to be a chill spot per se, because when you think chill, you think peace, quiet, you know, blah, blah, blah. You'll get people that come up here and take pictures and things like this. And it's good for, like this, for a sail away. There's chairs all along here, and you can literally sit here. Now, I would have to say this is more chill than comfy, because this chair is not comfy, but this is chill. Because look, turn the camera around and look what we got. The water's blue, life is great. I just left the helipad, I'm walking back. But I'm gonna show you another one of my chill, comfy spots. You can only enter, well, you can enter this spot from deck 5, because we're on deck 5 technically, okay? We're on deck 5. But if you're if you leave the helipad and you leave, let's say you're facing the ship this way. Obviously, the helipad is forward facing. If you turn around, you're this way, go to the left. The exit off of the left of the helipad, it will take you to these doors right here. You'll walk down, first doors. This will take you to the Star Lounge. And here is my chill and comfy spot here, the Star Lounge. You can see this place. This is a venue where they actually host a lot of games and do all sorts of shows here. But as you can see here, like, this place is pretty chill. On most times when they're not playing games, this room will be available. And you can just sit down. I mean, these couches here, they're pretty comfortable. You can see, you could just lay down here. Comfy factor is there. You see they have this little, oh wow, okay, this pillow doesn't move. But if you want to pull one of these moves here where you just do one of these and you just, you know, lay down, and you literally could, if you wanted to, take a nap. This actually feels very natural. Oh my gosh. I need to get up actually because it is 11:50 and yeah, we're about to disembark tomorrow. And I actually have to finish packing. So you walk out of the Star Lounge, and again, off to the left, if you're walking out of the Star Lounge, or if you're walking into the Star Lounge, you go to the right and you will have the library card room. Now here, oh wow, at the moment, I have this place all to myself. As you can see right behind me, they have 2 computers. You can use this, just log in with your internet access, but they have all these chairs. Now, you know, don't hang out here. You come here for the comfy factor. So they got this couch here. Let's test out the comfy factor. Oy. Yeah, that's comfortable. That's really comfortable, actually. Now, you can come in here, read a book. You can come in here, get really comfy, kick your feet up, as you can see right there, kicking my feet up. This is actually very, very comfortable. These chairs right here, very comfy. Let's give a test for these right here. You've got these little solo chairs. Let me get the comfy fact. That's comfortable. Let me take the little cushion out right here. Still comfortable. Oh, this is comfortable. I need to get up. I need to actually go finish packing. But these are my comfy areas. These are the chill spots that I recommend that you guys go to here on Freedom, because there aren't too many spots to duck off on Freedom, because, hey, everything is so condensed in a lot of areas that it's not a lot of breathing room unless you just want to stay in your cabin. And if you don't, maybe there's chaos in your cabin because, hey, you're sharing your cabin with someone else, or you don't like the people that's in your cabin and you want to get away. You can come to places like Star Lounge. You can come here to the cart and library room. You can go to the Royal Theater. You can go to the main dining. You can go to deck 4 on the outside. You can go to the helipad. Things like this, it'll take care of you.